Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to the first new installment of Culture and Cuisine. My name is Natalie, and if you've seen any of my previous videos or follow my blog, you'll know that I love food and that I love culture. This past year, I've shared online my restaurant reviews and recipes through articles and through photos. But for 2015, I am stepping it up. I will still be posting to my blog, but starting today, I will be recording and sharing with you all of my culinary experiences through this YouTube channel, focusing on new recipes, old recipes, and my restaurant reviews. So, if you are not already, please be sure to subscribe or follow my blog. The link will be posted below in the description box. I promise you that you won't be disappointed. For my first video, I thought you can't go wrong with an American favorite, home-style apple pie. But first off, admire my apron. I know it's technically New Year's, but hey, it can still be Christmas themed. Alright, let's get started. Before the filling of any pie, you have to have a crust. And when it comes to apple pie, there are two different kinds that are very popular. And that is the graham cracker crumb and the traditional flaky pie crust. I, however, like to combine the best of both worlds and have the bottom layer of my pie be a graham cracker crust, and then the top layer, which I will get into later, is the flaky traditional dough crust. Now, the reason that I do this is so that whenever you're baking your pie and your top starts to get golden brown, you know it's done, but you don't know if the bottom is going to be slightly doughy or not unless you cut into it completely. With a graham cracker crust, you will be for sure that your bottom will be completely crispy and that the top will be perfectly flaky for an excellent pie. My graham cracker crust consists of only 3 ingredients, and that is 2 packs of graham crackers, I prefer honey made, melted butter, and sugar. The first step into making this crust is to crush the graham crackers until they resemble a very finely ground pebble-like substance. And a lot of people like to use a food processor, but let's be real, it's more fun if you use your hands. We're just going to take them and put all of your crackers into a Ziploc bag. And this is where the fun comes in. You can be creative in however you crush your graham crackers, but just make sure that you keep watching the bag and don't get too rough, or else you'll make holes and then you're going to have graham crackers everywhere. Voila! Beautiful crumbs. Once your graham cracker crumbs are to the fineness of the gravel, you're just going to dump them into a bowl. Add your melted butter and sugar, and then mix by hand or with a spoon until they form one almost dough-like substance. This is what your crumb crust should look like. You should be able to pinch it together and have it hold together slightly, but still fall apart if you crumple it with your fingers. Next, you're going to take your pie plate. It can be any typical pie plate, doesn't have to be metal or glass. Dump all of your crumb crust into the pie, all of it at once. Now use your hands to mash it down and form into the mold of your pie. I always make more than enough because I would much rather have the crumb crust roll over and I have more than I need or not enough and you're forcing it to be a really thin crust. So it's okay for it to run over like this, as you can see on the countertop. This means that I know I will definitely have enough. And here we have the finished graham cracker crust. Then you're just going to pop this in the oven at 250 for about 7 minutes just to let it harden, and then we'll get to add the filling. My favorite part of the apple pie is getting to make the filling. And that always starts with 9 apples. 5 of them I think should be Granny Smith, and then the other 4 can kind of be, whatever your taste. Make sure that they're big apples. See? You see the size? This is a nice apple. You're going to want to peel them and slice them, and this is the part that people don't like. The reason for that being is that it takes a lot of work and it can get kind of messy. But if you have one of these, apple slicing becomes as simple as pie. Little sticker. The apple. I always have a bowl. I don't know if you can see it here, but it catches the apple peels as it peels. Start turning the crank and watch the magic happen. Isn't technology great? The last apple! Now that I have all of my apples nicely peeled, I've cut them up into about 1/4 pieces, and then I'm going to add all of the apples to a big pot. You have to really make sure that you have a big enough pot because you don't want it to overboil. Besides the apples, we're going to add just 1 cup of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, and then I will show you in just a moment how to add the cornstarch. Now I've mixed up the brown sugar and the cinnamon over the apples, and if you can see, they're very evenly coated. They have that nice dark brown. It has an excellent aroma from the cinnamon. And then for the cornstarch, every pie filling has to have a thickener. And in a lot of recipes, you're going to see them saying add like 1/4 cup of apple juice, orange juice, lemon juice with the cornstarch. But all you need is this is not even a tablespoon. Do you see how much that is? And this is just a mixture of lemon juice and water. You can use apple juice or orange juice. I actually would use apple juice, but I'm kind of ran out. Oh look, say hi to Jonathan. But the reason for this is that as the apples boil down and they really start to cook, they will release so much juice. And if you're just adding more juice in, that's just the longer that it's going to take to really thicken and get that really nice consistency that you want for a good pie filling. You can see about 1 mounded teaspoon of the cornstarch, and then add it in with my lemon juice and water mixture. Then you can take a fork and you want to make sure you mix it really slow. You can't mix it fast because that's just the chemical reaction that cornstarch has when it hits any liquid. And since this liquid is so minimal, it's going to start to really congeal and get thick rather quickly. You're going to take your cornstarch, and I'm going to kind of tilt this so you can see, and slowly pour it over your apple mixture. So now all you got to do is keep watching the pot and stirring it, making sure that the apples don't burn until it reaches that desired consistency. It's probably going to take, about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay guys, so it really hasn't even been 5 minutes, and my pie filling has already thickened. It has a syrupy-like consistency. I'm very pleased with it, so we're just going to turn off the fire. I'm going to find a lid. I'm going to lid this up, and then we'll cover it, let it cool. Going to add it to the graham cracker crust, and we'll get on to the next step. Alright guys, it's time to assemble. My pie filling has cooled enough, and I put it in a large glass bowl just so you can see it all the way through. And one thing you're probably wondering is, how am I going to fit all of this into this? Well, that, my friends, is where I will surprise you. So watch and be amazed. With the steam coming off of that. That is wonderful. Okay, so it turns out I lied. I do have a little too much filling than can fit in this pie plate, but then once again, you'd rather have too much than not enough. It's going to be a beautifully mounded pie. I have about 2 cups of the filling left, which is great for me because that means I can now make another mini, smaller apple pie. Moving on to the top part of the crust. As I said in the beginning of the video, I like to combine best of both worlds, and I have your traditional flaky pie dough crust. I've already cut it into strips because I'm going to do a lattice top. If you would like to see how I make this, it is a ginseng pie crust dough, then you can ask or subscribe in the comment box, and I will be happy to do a separate video on that. But in the meantime, to start off the lattice crust, I'm going to pick a nice log. Just place it right over the top, let it break over. And there you have it, folks. Beautiful lattice pie crust. We're just going to pop this in the oven at 425 degrees for around 30 minutes. And I'll be back when it's done. Alright everybody, here is our finished product. Beautifully latticed, beautifully browned apple pie. If only you could smell this. If I could send smells to technology. It's delicious. Well guys, there you have it, my first recipe video on culture and cuisine. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think in the comment box below. And once again, if you are not already, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow my blog. The link is in the description box below. I will have the full list of ingredients and steps right along this side of the video for you if you would like to make this apple pie at home. And always remember that just like love, we all need food to survive, so make it good and share with somebody special. I'll see you next time.